we try to communicate, but sometimes I don't think my partner delivers it respectfully. She continues to say, then I shut down, and then that causes another problem. Girl, I understand, because I am shut down queen.
Not because I'm being disrespectful, but just because
emotionally
be shut down.
Yeah, because emotionally, you're hurt, and it's like it's your own way of protecting yourself from just going all into your feelings and being a blubbering mess and in the corner. Like, it just, and so that's a conversation that needs to be had, especially if I understand that you said your partner doesn't deliver it respectfully. That is something that there needs to be a hard line, being like, hey, so when emotions are calm and centered, that conversation that we had the other day, that powwow that we had. So I'm happy we got through this, but there was a moment where I really felt disrespected, and I don't like that you use this word with me, or that you expressed it this way. Are we able to shift the words, or at least have a certain way that we're expressing ourselves to each other, and keep that as like our baseline, because it doesn't make me feel safe, and I don't want to be around when I don't feel safe.
Yes, bro, I was gonna hit on that, but you got it. Like, the main goal of a partnership and a relationship in any aspect is the feeling of safety. You want to feel empowered in your relationship. You want to be able to express yourself, and you want to feel safe enough. So if I would try to assess myself, am I in a partnership? Am I in a relationship? Am I opening myself up to people who make me feel safe? If not, I probably need to do an audit. Yeah.
Keisha is a queen 73. Someone has to always be right, and that's not the case, because part of what you say can be right and vice versa. That's where understanding and compromise comes into play. Nobody is perfect. Try to retweet. Try to live right. Sorry. Sorry.
Yes, try to live right. This girl said, try to live retweet.
Live retweet.
But
live right.
Yes,
live
right.
live.
Okay, you were speaking to me on that part. When going into this relationship and beforehand, I had this stigma of needing to be right. Like, if no one agreed with my standpoint, if no one agreed, then we had a problem. And I realized that wasn't nobody's problem but mine. I realized that my perspective can be true, just like you said, and Natalie's perspective can be true. How do we lift up both? How do we lift up both perspectives and allow them both to be right? Because it's not gonna do us any good saying like, oh, but this is not how I experienced this. No, hey, I actually didn't see that. I like how your response can be like, I didn't know that that's what your response was. I didn't know that that's what you felt. And it was the word I was trying to use earlier, but to diffuse and to help your partner take their guard, like bring their guards down, lifting up how they felt. My issue of needing to be right has subsided. I realized that Natalie's perspective is right as well, and me trying to push the solution, me trying to push to get a solution, just highlighting my rightness, it won't help us. It won't help her feel safe. Go ahead, babe.
Yeah. I wanted to give an example, because I feel like sometimes when emotions are like really up there, and somebody's trying to be right about something, right? Whether or not like me on the end thinks that they're right, there's two ways that you could respond to that. You can either put up a wall and kind of like be, I don't want to say argumentative, but like, yeah, you're right. Yep, that's right. Like, that is not the healthy way to respond to somebody trying to prove their point. But the best way, and this goes across the board in any relationship, and even your family, your parents, any relationship that you have where somebody is trying to, in a way, be heard, is to simply acknowledge them. And you acknowledge them by repeating back to them what you heard them say. So, right, exactly how you said, like, you'll ask me what I heard you say was, she has to ask me because I don't say what I hear her say. But if you get that into a practice, be like, okay, you can respond, be like, okay, so I understand that you felt this way because of X, Y, Z, and I understand that, we can, I don't know, I'm just making up a situation, but just entering into that, I understand that this situation made you feel this way. I heard that you said X, Y, Z. Just like that, right there, that is disarming rather than like,
Yes.
you're right.
That's the
Right.
word, disarming. To a person who always has to be right, or used to. You don't know how good that feels to have someone acknowledge you and just say, you know what, I hear that you're saying that the way I did this wasn't thoughtful. I hear that you're saying that it made you feel forgotten about. You know, just just saying those words, I hear you, acknowledging, makes a person just feel disarmed, and we're ready to receive what it is you have to say. We're ready to receive, just continuing the conversation rather than shutting down and not sleeping because you mad at your partner and yada yada yada. Go ahead, baby.
Oh no, I wasn't gonna add on to that. I was just reading this last this last comment because I'm still in there. So this last comment from Portfolio by a Photographer says, Natalie, I recently returned back home from the USA after teaching English abroad. I'm having a tough time transitioning back in USA after life abroad. Can you give me tips on the transition back? So let's just say I'm still transitioning, okay? Because it's not a smooth transition. I've talked to so many people that have lived abroad, returned back to the United States, and we are all in the same boat. Like, what the F is this? Like, that's literally where we are at. I'm sorry, I just shifted this conversation in
No,
a
it's okay.
completely different
What I
direction.
was gonna say is, I don't know if Portfolio by Photographer was here earlier, but we are offering like sessions one-on-one. So like if that's something you're interested in and you want to get the whole rundown, I would highly, highly suggest clicking on the link in our bio, and we got lots to say
We
about
got
living
a
abroad and
lot
the
to
transitions
say.
of coming back.
Yeah.
Shoot, we may not even be staying here very much longer. So
Yeah.
yeah, we understand.
To be honest, like um, uh, there was a lot that had happened coming back home, including like what needed to be like a spiritual awakening. Um, yeah. Um, for me to feel more centered in being back here. But I'm gonna just leave it at that.
Yeah, and she
And
also has some YouTube videos that she talked in depth about
yeah,
her transitions coming back into the United States after living abroad for so long.
check
Yeah.
me out at Fabulous Net on YouTube. Just a recap of this live. So we were talking. So the question that was posed was, while going through a breakup, how do you navigate releasing expectations from one another? I think we first talked about just being on the same page, define what a breakup is for both parties, because we could have completely different understandings, and then set those once you have an idea of what what a breakup means, then define what it looks like for both of you
Right.
guys.
Right. So for example, just a quick example of like, are you guys gonna stay committed? Are you in it for the long haul, or do you think this is gonna be done? That can help you with figuring out the expectations of moving forward. Do you guys have kids? Do you have shared obligations and responsibilities? Do you share a house? Do you have bills together? Like, you have these conversations. This is how you have a healthy breakup. This is how you have a healthy expectations of moving forward, of just like, let's consider all these things that are involved, and how do we want to move forward with each other or separately.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then part two of that question was, how do you prioritize personal growth? And I don't know how to sum that up, but prioritize personal growth and find space for yourself, right? Find things that you like to do, and figure out what is your baseline level. Where is emotionally, physically, spiritually, outside of, being in a relationship, what is your baseline level, so you can understand